Okay, so I got an important question. Don't mess it up. You good? Like, one person, only one though, you're only going to get one, that impacted your life in the positive direction. Who would that be?
Right away, John Maxwell. And the reason why that is because I've always looked up to him. One, because he started out as a pastor before he got into the business world. So he was looking to, help people along in their walk with Christ. But then he found out that his passion was seeing people grow as leaders so that they could affect their communities. So the person that I've looked up to the most for the longest time was him. So it was reading his books, taking courses, listening to audio, and then when got to the point where I could actually get into his circle, that was the next step. And from there, it just multiplied. So guys, when we're talking about people that impact your life, look for ways that you can get around them, because, listening and hearing the things is one thing, but then actually connecting and being around them and feeling their energy and their passion and having their hand on your shoulder absolutely changed everything for me.
I remember Joel always saying, John Maxwell is so impactful. I'm reading this book, and he'd share a little bit with me. But then, what I remember is you talked about it. You talked about it. And then you met him. You went to an event. You were like, I'm going to seek him out. And I think the more that you talk about that person too, if they're still alive, because there's things that people that we have impacted us that aren't alive today, but you being in that circle in person, that proximity of him changed you. I will never forget that moment that you met him. It was like meeting a superstar, and now you're like, he's a totally normal guy that just wants others to win. And that was super impactful for me to see you meet him in person. So I'll never forget that. I don't think you will either. And I think about the person that impacted my life, and to some it may be like, oh, you should say, like John Maxwell. Mine was a teacher. You guys, it can be something so small, and I don't want to say small. A teacher impacted my life forever. And there was two teachers, and we've talked about this before. One was hit me over the head, I will never forget this, and called me stupid. And so I could have went the path of learning that, going that way, that, oh, this girl's just not that smart. But then there was another teacher that came into my life that believed in me, took me under their wings, and thought I could do anything. And I will never forget that teacher that believed in me so much. And we actually got to meet him not that long ago and say thank you. So, there's a lot of impactful people. And so I don't take that lightly, that a teacher was my first good impact that I had.
And along this line, another thing that I want you to think about is, are you an impactful person? Are you going out there to impact people's lives? Guys, that's again, one of the biggest things that's on my heart, is to go out and impact people's lives for the good. Like Steph said in her story, there was one that impacted her negatively, which would cause her to go down a different path. Are you going to be an impactor for good and go out and change somebody's life? That's my challenge for you, is to go out and change somebody's life and be an impact for good.